John Osborne Music asks the first question, what movie has the most underrated banger of a soundtrack? Not score, soundtrack. Okay. Until the End of the World. Wim Wenders made a film in 1990 or 91 called Until the End of the World. Solveig Dahlmartin, William Hurt, Max von Sydow, Jean Moreau, the French actress. Oh my God, I love her so much. Until the End of the World is a phenomenal film. Watch the theatrical release, not the 4.5-hour director's cut. I have watched the 4.5-hour director's cut. It's just not the one to watch first. Until the End of the World is roughly a film about a group of people who possess a machine that can record your inner thoughts, and they become addicted. They get stranded in the Australian outback and become addicted to watching their dreams on video. And it's about way more than that as well. It's a real stunner of a movie that presages all sorts of amazing stuff. Electronic billboard, tablet computers, laptops, iPads, all of this stuff that wasn't really happening in 1991 gets developed to a high degree in Until the End of the World. And the soundtrack is an absolute monster. U2, Elvis Costello. Oh my God, there's so many. Nick Cave. There's just you're welcome. Go download it. Every song on there is a banger. I literally listened to that album for years. But I also wanted to talk about, so you said score, and I had written down War for Planet of the Apes, which is maybe one of the best scores in recent movies. I am fully biased in this because the composer, Michael Giacchino, is a great friend of mine and a lovely friend of Tested. But you didn't ask about scores, you asked about soundtracks. So the other thing I wanted to tell you is that I have this particular penchant for, look, I love pop music. I spent most of my childhood building Legos alone in my room, listening to the radio, listening to Casey Kasem count down the American Top 40 pop song countdown, literally probably from 1971 until I left high school, 1985. So pop music is deeply in my bones, and I love a particular kind of pop music that is often played over credits. My wife and I call it credit music. So I have 3 movies that I wanted to talk about, amazing credits. I love Almost Human from the credits of Blade Runner 2049. That's a terrific song, and it's a great example of just the kind of credits music I love. The Lost Boys, the original Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland and Oliver Platt, has an amazing song over the credits called Cry Little Sister, which is totally worth your time. Fabulous credit song. And then the movie Legend, Ridley Scott's movie, Tom Cruise, Mia Sara, and Tim Curry in, I think, the best monster makeup in movies for a villain. I might be willing to stand by that statement. Tim Curry's demon in that film, Darkness, is insane. It is beautiful. But the credits have this song by Brian Ferry called Is Your Love Strong Enough? And it's another stunner. I'll put on any one of those songs just in the shop to like feel better about the day and sort of start to bop a bit. Thank you, John Osborne Music, for that lovely question. And I'm going to follow it with Wim Cohen's, who says, you often share the inspiration you get out of books, movies, art, and philosophy, yet somehow music doesn't seem to come up a lot in your talks. So before I get to the actual question you have, the answer to that is because I'm actually, and you will tell me in the comments that I don't need to be, but I'm frequently embarrassed by my favorite music because I listen to a lot of Lorde and Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift and current pop music, which makes me really happy. I also love Lana Del Rey, but frankly, I've always felt, as a kid, I was shamed several times by my peers for the music that I thought was good. Like I weren't supposed to like Carly Simon, and I was surprised you're allowed to like James Taylor. And so I learned really early on to shut up about my musical tastes. And And that still carries, even though I don't care anymore. I'll happily tell you the stuff that I listen to, but still, yeah, there's that little tinge of the kid holding back, talking about how important music can be. So that's why you don't hear about music a lot, even though I listen to it a ton. But Wim Cohen's question is, do you draw inspiration from music for your work? Yeah, I do. And then you ask, are there soundtracks and scores that you really love? Yeah, I listen. The one I listen to most frequently is Howard Shore's The Lord of the Rings soundtracks. They're stunning. I'm also a huge fan of Carter Burwell, who has done most of the Coen brothers films, is an amazing, oh my God, such an amazing composer. And the soundtrack to Miller's Crossing might be one of the finest movie soundtracks ever made. I have always loved movie soundtracks, and weirdly, when I was working for Jamie Hyneman in the early '90s, do you remember when they first came out with CD players, and then they came out with the like 200 CD player? Jamie bought one of those and filled it full of soundtracks, and soundtracks are hilarious to listen to because they take you through all of these different moods. You get the love theme, you get the chase theme, you get the scary music, you get the sad morning music. I had a friend who was like, I can't write screenplays to this. I write happy scenes during the happy music. I write sad scenes during the sad music. Another banger of a movie score is Carter Burwell's soundtrack to Raising Arizona, which is maybe one of the funniest movie soundtracks. So I wanted just to give you a kind of a compendium of some of the music that I find really important and go back to again and again and again. Joni Mitchell's album Blue, I agree with many people who talk about it as maybe one of the greatest albums ever recorded. Up there with Abbey Road and Gimme Shelter and Free Will and Bob Dylan or Highway 61. I swear, Blue is completely intrinsic to my makeup as a person. I think I could sing the entire album for you now. I definitely put my kids to bed a couple times singing it. And because I love Joni Mitchell, I love all of the powerful women singers. I love Brandi Carlile. I love what she's doing. Lana Del Rey has been slaying me over the last few years. The Milk Carton Kids, they're good friends of mine. They also wrote all the music for Inside Llewyn Davis. They also have an incredible canon of their own music. Amazing. I love Billie Eilish. I love Sean Colvin. Damien Rice, who I didn't know about until the movie Closer with Julia Roberts. Tracy Chapman, David Bowie, the Beatles, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Colin Hay, lead singer of Men at Work, but has an amazing solo career. The Decemberists. Here's an Australian deep cut, Powderfinger. Oh, if you love good major, minor, excellent hook pop music that makes you go, Powderfinger is the shit. And it's the lead singer and songwriter, Bernard Fanning, also has solo work that is equally stellar. Do you know any movies that use music or sound design in a totally new way? I don't have an answer to that. I'm sure there's some that I could think about if I really pondered it, but it's not top of mind. But John Osborne Music and Wim Cohen, thank you so much for those music-based questions. Thank you for watching that video. Are you as sick of the tosses to membership as I am? Good, because here's a brand new one that I recorded today, and it's nice and short. There are 3 tiers to Tested membership, and they all offer awesome stuff. Find out about it by clicking the join link below. We'll see you there.